All right, thank you. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM, joining our live stream edition over there and social media chat room. If you're not following us, follow us now, KMET 1490 AM on Facebook, at Twitter, KMET Radio. We're also on SoundCloud. We're on the Alexa app. And of course, we're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, live stream, and much, much more. Okay, for those of you tuning in, we appreciate each and every one of you. What's going on in your neck of the woods? We want to know, how are you staying positive during these momentous times? And boy, oh boy, are there many. The question is, where are we going from here? What's going on around the world? And what's going to happen in the next coming weeks? We're going to talk a little bit about that. First of all, I got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there with his allergies, which are kicking up due to the huge winds which we've been having over here. Jesse, what's going on over there? Yeah, and I get it. And you almost have to kind of call it out nowadays, right? You have to kind of be like, no, it's allergies, people. It's allergies. I'm good. It's not the so and you know, and you got to be careful of that. Go get I don't know which one's good for. I could tell you right now, my mom would probably say Allegra or Claritin, right? Some over the counter stuff that will help you. But yeah, the Santa Ana winds were very heavy as of last week, and they actually shut down some of the power outlets over there in certain areas, limiting the actual power because they didn't want big situations to happen. So, called fire season, of course, still upon us, even though it's heading into winter. You go, don't fires not like exist in winter time? But that's the thing, right, Jesse? Oh, you're muted. Oh, my thing didn't. Okay, I don't know what's going on, or maybe I don't know. We'll figure that out in a bit. All right, for those of you tuning in, we appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing over there, and be well. We've got lots of you tuning in on social media. We're going to try to get Jesse's situation fixed over here. I thought it was fixed. It was fixed earlier, but if you can't hear Jesse, then let us know. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned. Hmm. Well, let me try this, but it was recording you earlier. All right, we're going to test Jesse's setup here. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a weekend debacle on my system. So let's see if you could hear Jesse. Jesse, go ahead and speak. Whatever. Yes, exactly. I know it kind of switched some settings around here. So, but I could have sworn I tested your audio. So I'm just, so for those of you tuning in, can you hear Jesse now, or is he completely oblivious to you all? Which, if that's the case, I'm going to have to do the show alone, which I think Jesse doesn't mind because he's like got the allergy thing going on. No, can't hear him. Yeah, I don't know why it's not picking up your audio, according to Penelope. Let me click on something. Oh, I think I know what it is. Hold on. Sony TV, speakers, desktop audio. Let me try this. All right, go ahead and talk. No, still can't hear you. Hold on. Can you put another minute on? I'm trying to figure this out before we kind of want people to hear you. Plus, if we can't fix that, then any of our guests are not going to be heard. Or we're just going to have to test this later. Okay, keep talking, Jesse. Just say some stuff. I'll put on you. Nice. Are you guys still not getting any audio? I switched something, but it might not be the right thing to switch. I don't know why this thing isn't recording your. Oh, I switched some things around, but I switched on the other one. It should work. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to. Sorry, Jesse. No audio. All right. I'll have to figure it out later. We'll test. Remind me. I got to do a test with you later. All right. Thanks. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, Periscope TV. If you want to listen to our regular broadcast, you can always hear Jesse via our radio app. It's very simple. KMET 1490 AM. You can hear him there. I know many of you in Radioland are like, huh? I can hear him. But sometimes with our live broadcast via social media platforms, some things just don't always work right. And I kind of have myself to blame for that because over the weekend, I did switch some things around on my device here. Of course, social media is the next big thing when it comes to VR. And I know Jesse over there, if he could speak right now, he would say he's looking at the Oculus getting the second one. So I'm excited for him. Maybe he could do some sign language. Jesse, do you know any sign language? No? Okay. So there you go. We got Jesse over there being mute, but he actually, he needs to save his voice anyway. He's got the allergy thing going on. And if you're fighting the allergies, boy, oh boy, you know what that's like. Okay, let's go to social media chat room there. Let's see. Oh, he's actually chatting in the chat room. So maybe he can... Maybe I can share what he's saying there. Stephanie Reed there says, hello, happy editing and onset of Christmas films coming soon for this glorious, awesome day ahead. Katya Wunderland says, good morning to everybody. Good morning. Cedric over there tuning in. Thank you. Maria says, good morning. Have an awesome day. We have snowstorms from today till Wednesday. Yikes. And let's see. We've got other people as well just checking in. We got Patrice Broderick. Haven't seen her in quite some time. Again, tuning in from Florida. Glad to have her back. She says, I guess I will not ask Aaron what to with my new HP computer I was given in which my Zoom image is in darkness. I have no idea what that means. So there you go. And Maria is tuning in via the Alexa app. So there you go. Okay. Many of you are wondering what's going on with coronavirus. I know it's still here, unfortunately. The latest for LA County, though, is somewhat of a nuisance for some, and for others, it's just another day in LA. Public and private gatherings with those outside your household will be prohibited in LA County starting today under a new public health order. Playgrounds and card rooms will also close, among other restrictions. Religious gatherings and protests are exempt from the temporary order, which will remain in effect through December 20th. The measures come as the county continues to see alarming levels of new COVID-19 cases and increasing hospitalizations. That's according to the LA County Department of Public Health. As of Wednesday, outdoor dining in the country is on pause for the next 3 weeks. So that's already a thing. Again, you can still order out and or pick up and or delivery, which is pretty much the same thing. So don't forget about the businesses out there. They still are alive and well and are trying to get through this pandemic with the rest of us. So do support your local place that you enjoy eating. I know already like 8 of the local places I like eating at are no longer in business, and I'm very upset about that. But in fact, in social media, I asked this question of quite a few people. I'm going to go to something on Instagram that I posted yesterday. And if you're not following me already there, please do so. And I thought some of these tips were really good because, I mean, I could talk about coronavirus all day long. But here's something I'm going to talk about, which I think is what we all need to hear. The question that I had posted on Instagram was, what are your tips for the sad and depressed? I guess I posted it incorrectly. I said, why are your tips for the sad and depressed? You could tell I wasn't thinking at the time. So these are some of the comments here. I'll just read a few. Melissa Gonzalez from New Jersey, which we have quite regularly here on the show every beginning part of the month, talking about retail. She says this: we have been planning weekly themed dress up dinner parties planned by my 5-year-old. This week we are going to be superheroes. You see that? I like that. Melissa, very family oriented, and of course always doing the right thing over there. I like that. I'm going to heart that right here, right now. Let's see. Also, let's see. Lady Alicia says music, one moment at a time. And then she laughed out loud. Ferris wheel rentals. Now, this is somebody I've been following for quite some time because they actually do that. They rent out Ferris wheels, right, to big parties and or big events. And I think it's like the next best thing since sliced bread. It really is. But unfortunately, they shared some very personal news. Says, we lost all business, so we don't spend now. I have learned to enjoy nature and spend time with my dog. You see that there? That's a difficult thing to read because, again, who's spending time with the Ferris wheel anymore, right? Which I think we need to go back to that the moment coronavirus is gone and or a thing of the past. Let's see. One Last Ball says, see the future and believe that it will get better. And it'll get better, I promise. I once suffered from depression and thought there was no way out. But there is. It takes time and is tough, but it's getting better. I know from experience, don't lose your courage to face life because in the end, there is always something that is worth living for. You see that? I'm going to give a little heart on that. Here's one. Solovon Dolly says, stricter diet. So you might as well take care of yourself, right? My New York Pizza, who I follow, and actually I went to go, I think that they're also in LA, says making pizza, which they're actually in the San Bernardino area as well. PD Pate says, I've been going to a chiropractor who is a naturopath. He's been helping me to see the power in my own body to heal itself. God has made me and he will bring healing. I also limit my time on social media. It doesn't help my well-being. Being outside in nature and praying helps so much more. You see that I like that. It believes in helping your own body, which oddly enough, the body does have the ability to help heal itself, especially when you start thinking a lot more in such a way that mind over body ability. Some people don't believe that sort of thing, but I know a lot of people that have fixed themselves, either their own back from being broken. I know one guy who broke his back so terribly, but now he owns a Gold's Gym. And I know many people that are tap into that healing process in their body, but you have to almost literally switch it on through mental exercise and or willingness to want to get better. It doesn't happen for the faint-hearted, obviously, that don't believe, but if you at least have a more belief than not, it makes it that much easier. Which oddly enough, back to the Holy Scriptures, whenever Jesus would say, your faith has made you well, right? Or he says, I mean, there were a lot of scriptures about that, right? So like belief in something helps the process even more so. I just think we need the little healing part back at some point, sometime. Maybe he'll walk the earth one day. Let's see. Z. Luis Music says, wake up early, exercise and practice. Good thoughts about a project you always wanted to do and never had the time. Now's the time. Eat well, don't drink, see less TV, less social media, look to the sky. There's always tomorrow, love and light. Some very positive people on my Instagram. So if you're not following me, follow me right there in our chat room. Let's see what people are saying right here, right now. Let's see. Patrice commenting says this. Of course, no one will get infected during a protest. Cancer contact with family is in some way. Let's see. And Rosalie says, good morning. And there you go. So people are commenting on social media there. But whatever you are having to deal with right now, it's no fun. It really isn't. But of course, those of you that are staying safe out there, keep positive. It's good to see people being positive in social media and spreading that around. I think we need more of that and less of whatever's going on with President Trump and the whole debacle with Biden and whatnot. Okay, people, we're going to take a quick break here on the morning show. When we get back, we got more right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, Jesse, I'm going to check something out here. Let me see here. I don't know why that's not working. Let's go to defaults. Use device timestamps. Let me try this. Maybe this is it. Go ahead and say something, Jesse. No, that's not working. Let me try again. Hold on. Maybe I'll stumble upon. Okay, people. So I'm on our behind the scenes, and I can hear Jesse, but you can't. So if you can hear him suddenly, go ahead and keep talking, Jesse. I'm gonna test some things while we're live. Oh, check. Oh, okay, hold on. Now I know your thing isn't working. Hold on. Crikey. Hold on. Oh, you know what? I have a way around it, I think. I have a way around it. Keep talking. Yeah, I think I do. At least for now. Keep talking, Jesse. Right? Okay, let's see if you guys can hear him now. If you can hear him, that's great. If not, I got to figure it out still. Trying to get it so you can hear Jesse. And I got to fix this before we have our guests call in. I don't know. My calendar's gone. So I'm playing it by ear. All right. Well, that's true. That'd probably be quicker, huh? It's soft now. Okay, well, at least you got something. I don't know what that means. It's soft now. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you can hear him? That's right. It's the morning show right here on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. We appreciate each and every one of you. And for those of you tuning in, there's a lot of information in news headlines. Coronavirus, again, if you're just joining us, is a situation which we're watching very closely. Some things, of course, LA County prohibiting gatherings and closing the playground. Certain things are open still, but check out your situation in your own backyard. And it's a situation which we're watching very closely because we're really very much paying attention to the hospitalization rate. The hospitalization rate, for those of people that are wanting to complain right now, are so high that in order to get a hospital bed, if you have a typical emergency, non-coronavirus related, you probably don't want to get stuck for very long without a hospital bed. Got it? So you have to start thinking about, if you're not already, and again, some of our social media patrons there are in the health industry, so they understand this. But I just want to throw some thoughts into your head, to be honest, to be able to think about whenever people start complaining about the situation that they're in. First of all, you got doctors and you got nurses. You have a limited amount of nurses and doctors. Now, what happens when a lot of the doctors get sick all of a sudden and they get tested with coronavirus? Do you want them operating on you or getting to be around you? And yet that's exactly what's happening across the nation. Now, is it a huge amount? No, but you obviously don't want somebody with coronavirus taking care of you, or do you? Then you got the nurses. And how many nurses do we have in the country? Quite a lot, technically true, but a lot that we actually brought in from other countries as well. So instead of being able to bring in new nurses, now you've got other nurses having to work double shift in order to take the slack of those that have to no longer work because they're mandatory coronavirus quarantining so that they don't get everybody sick that they would normally treat. So now you've got nurses and doctors pulling extra shifts, pulling extra time, very rarely get to see their family members. I know of a couple people. I know of a husband-wife duo team where he has, sadly, it's a situation. I don't want to go into his personal life, but his wife actually is a nurse, and they don't see each other. They haven't seen each other for about a year, going on, I think, a year and a half now, because he has really bad chemotherapy, and he just didn't want to. That was just before coronavirus. You get it? So his chemotherapy, he's at level 4. For those of you that know the cancer situation, he's still fighting it. He's been fighting it for a good 3 years, to be honest. And I've seen him lose all the weight, his hair, have a terrible situation, and that's just cancer itself. But at the same time, he and his wife had to make a decision way early on. Her working in the medical field, does she want to come home and get him sick with chemotherapy? Because his blood cell count, of course, whenever you ever have to fight cancer, your immunity goes down significantly, right? So any type of exposure to any other illness is a really bad situation, going from bad to worse. So how many cancer patients out there right now are currently trying to fight for their life and trying to stay safe away from coronavirus, right? And that could be young and or old, those that need medical care and or don't get medical care. And that's non-coronavirus related. So the reason I bring that up is sometimes people have this thought process, and I've seen a couple statements on social media, which I thought, you still think that way, of people saying, yeah, it's not even a thing. It's all blown out of proportion. It's government cover up, government conspiracy, and government this, that, and the other. Well, I'd believe that if they didn't vote for Trump, because the majority of them, I always go, oh, you voted for Trump, didn't you? And I'd believe that if you thought, okay, well, Trump's still trying to win, so let's throw that to the side. And do you live in another country? Typically, they do not. Typically, they live here in the United States of America, isolated from the rest of the world, and they don't look at world news to even think, oh, that's right, it's not an isolated event here in the United States of America. And I'm not speaking to anybody that hasn't heard this already, I believe, but I've said this since March. One time, I actually threw my reputation on the line and said, look, do you want me to just quit my job? And I said that to somebody who thought they were right and I was wrong about coronavirus. I said, well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure maybe it's all blown out. I said, well, I guess by the winter, we'll find out. And I'm calling that out right here, right now, because I think there's still people out there that still want misinformation, want information to be misconstrued. And I got to say this, if my job suddenly came into line because of that, I'd say, well, who's wrong and who's right? Sadly, I lost my television spot because the person loves Trump. True. Loves Trump. Hated me talking bad about Trump 100%. Finally, found an opportunity, kicked me out. I said, okay, well, it was nice while it lasted. But what are you going to do? At the end of the day, here we are going into December now, and we still have coronavirus. Are people really going to be that adamant about them being right, Trump being right, and then others being wrong when in reality you might be fighting coronavirus yourself? I don't wish that upon I just don't wish that upon anyone. But here's a sad fact. People are getting sick, they're getting upset, and they're getting angry because they might be wrong. So don't throw caution to the wind. Be safe than sorry. And remember, wear at the very minimum a face mask. That's it. That's all you need to do. Liberties, libertize, whatever. So many people upset because they have to put a face mask on. That's it. That's what you're going to be upset about. You should be upset that there's no hospital beds left. You should be upset that cancer patients aren't getting the necessary care that they need because they're too afraid to go into a center with people that have coronavirus because, God forbid, the chemotherapy that they had, if they get coronavirus, they're going to die quite instantly. And they've been fighting for their life for quite some time. It's expensive. My friend has paid well over $500,000 just in healthcare alone. Out of pocket, by the way. That's a lot of money to stay alive, and then coronavirus comes and takes them out. You get what I'm saying? So don't be that person out there that's so adamant, because I believe at least 20% of our country is still very adamant that coronavirus isn't a thing. Thank God the majority of you now understand, nope, it's a thing. It's been here to stay. And even if you were a naysayer in the beginning, hey, at least you came through that, right? I got to imagine the 20% that are out there right now, at some point, when will they say, oh, it was a real thing? I'm going to shut my mouth now. I don't know, but I sure hope it's soon because we need to stay safe out there. Okay, people? I know many people are upset. What are we going to do next? When's school going to go back? When are employers going to start hiring again? So we have to address all of that right here, right now, immediately. I agree. Lockdowns are a thing. And do they necessarily keep people free from harm? I will say there are countries that have done that already, which we've quoted here on the show, which did it back in January, February, and March. And they do contact tracing on the phone app. So they have little to like 5 cases out of a pretty big population, by the way. That's a huge hurrah. Coronavirus is still around. Not that they can't get sick, but guaranteed they would do the right thing in the moment, bunker down, do the hard thing for quite some time, not throw caution to the wind, and then say, oh, it's not a thing. Don't worry about it. Had we done that probably early on, could we have been in a different spot? Well, who knows anymore, right? I could theorize. You could theorize. We can all theorize together. It doesn't mean it's going to be a thing. But if certain countries can do that and have done it successfully well, on the flip side, you've got Moscow, 311% surge of deaths. That's a huge amount. Don't know if you saw that headline. We'll share that next here on the morning show. Stay tuned for more right after these messages. We'll be right back. All right, Jesse, I'm still gonna try to get you on here. I don't know why. Hold on, I'm gonna restart it. Let me see what it does. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and test your audio now. Da, 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 da. Ooh. All right, keep or put on your iPhone so you could be, or your Android. I'm sorry. I'll put you full screen. Yeah, just keep talking. Yeah, you can barely hear you. I don't know what's going on here. It's always a simple fix, but I have to, let me see. Let me open my sound settings. Hold on. Choose your output. I did that. Maybe that needs to be, no. I don't know. I should have taken a picture before I started changing the settings. I know. Quiet. Oh, wait. Nobody can hear you anyway. Ah! Yeah, keep typing. I'll share it. No, can't hear him. Restart Windows. I did restart Windows. You know, it could be Windows. They had an update. It could not even be me. It could be something else. Oh, see that? Maria says we were asked to go to the States and Michigan because they need doctors and nurses. But she's not. She's already overworked. So she's staying in Canada. Wow. All right, thanks. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Go check us out on the Alexa app. Just say, Alexa, I'd like to listen to KMET 1490 AM. You can check out all the great behind the scenes stuff, also known as our supporters. You know, some people don't like our advertisers as they hear it when they hear it because they listen to us on Facebook. But I say, how else do you think we're going to stay in business? Somebody's got to pay the bills. So do support. Have fun. And I get it though. I get it because like you have like things like Netflix and you have other things and you're like, oh man, I got ads. But they actually keep us in, they keep us busy and they keep us in the know. Meaning we stay on air. So if you don't listen to that, then it hurts everybody. So please do support our advertisers. And if they say call now, especially if it makes sense for you. Okay. So this is the latest. A lot of people currently in Moscow. It's jumped significantly. And that's the latest news, according to the Moscow Times. Moscow reports 300% spike in coronavirus deaths. And that's a very sad situation to see, especially in a place that was very hopeful. In fact, they were among the first to say, hey, we got a vaccine way back in, I want to say July. If you do the research, you'll find that out. But for them to have as big of a jump as they've had, that's something that you could tell they did not see coming. So there you go. Now, in other news, though, the question is, what's going on here in the home front, right? A lot of people wondering, speculating. I do want to share something that one of our social media longtime listeners has said, Maria, who actually lives in Canada. And as I said before, usually you could bring in people from other countries in order to help out. And she admitted to this, which is very interesting, which I'm going to read this as soon as I can find it here on my chat screen here. Here we go. Lots of us in Canada are asked to go to the States and Michigan because they need doctors and nurses. Because that's the thing, people. It's normal. But she had to add to that, I am overworked here enough, so I stayed in Canada. She says this, we went from top 32 with virus to 29 now. I won't go home as many days as I've been now. ER is very busy, and my patient load is raising every day. Went on a strict lockdown at midnight. Borders are closed till January now. And that's in Canada. Okay. Yes, we have people tuning in from all around the world. And we appreciate when they share with us where they're actually tuning in from. So there you go. Let's see. We've got Renee tuning in. Renee, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Katya Wunderlin says Control-Alt-Delete. That always works for stuff that never works. No truth to the rumor. I need to speak on this because I feel somebody needs to hear it. Go get a VR headset. Just get one. Even if it's the Oculus, go get it. It's time invested, time well spent. And I can tell you right now, there are 3 apps I want to try out like coming up around the corner. But I'll start with the first two. Okay, I broadcast something yesterday, which oddly enough messed up my computer's audio system. I'll figure it out. I always do. But in essence, big screen and VR chat. Go check it out. Once you have Oculus and or maybe you spend a little bit more money for the HTC Vive or other kind of headset, I really recommend mainly those two. There's other ones out on the market which are very widescreen, which I actually was tempted to do, but they're very heavy and cumbersome. So not sure that's going to be a thing. But the HTC and the Vive, the HTC Vive, they have Cosmos, they have the Elite. I got the Elite to test it and try it out. And more often than not, I was very happy with the result because I, just like others, are on this app called Big Screen. And for those of you that love the movie theater experience, it's the next best thing since sliced bread. I want them to do the Wonder Woman 2 feature on there. They already have like a live event happening, which I signed up for. You could do so. Like 1,200 people have signed up for it, which is not a big number, but not a lot of people have been visiting that app for quite some time, evidently. But it's still in beta mode. It's free. So you get the headset, you get that, and go check it out. And Ready Player 2, not Ready Player 1, but Ready Player 2, at least the author of that's going to do this live broadcast on the Big Screen app. Okay, but what's cool is you have the ability, let's say you have 8 friends. You could create a room of your very own, share, maybe you have the rights to something and it's on your desktop. You can share either your home video, you could share a movie, you could share whatever you want with your 8 friends all in the same room, all completely virtually in different locations. How cool is that? So now, let's say you feel alone. You don't have to be alone because you have this cool little app to be able to connect with your friends and family. So go next step. What did I get to watch over the weekend? I watched Ghost. Do you remember that with some pretty cool people? I saw that, but it felt like I was in a movie theater. Nope. I was comfortably in my own bed. And that was it. But I felt like I was no longer alone or isolated in my own room. All of a sudden, I went to VR chat, virtual reality chat, basically. But VR chat, they have a couple different programs. But you have your own setup in there, and you get to meet people from around the world. I met friends from Texas, from UK, from Australia. One was from Europe. And I was just like, this is really cool. And then I was like, hey, follow me at Aaron M. Sanchez. Maybe you could get a shout out. But my point is this. At the end of the day, there's some really cool devices that can keep you, let's just put it this way. Some people get stir crazy when they get locked in inside, right? And I think in the coming weeks and even maybe possibly months in certain countries, there is so much of a lockdown. You might as well go ahead and invest in a little device known as an Oculus headset, which now are $299. Okay, I think they have a cheaper version at $199, but I would get the $299 because it used to be $399. They just lowered it. And I think it's the perfect time to be able to spend some time in the VR headset. Check out Big Screen and check out VR Chat. Those are both free apps, by the way. They're completely free. And if you just don't want to be alone or you want to feel like you're part of a movie theater experience, it is second to none, the next best thing. You don't even have to go outside your house if it's cold in your area and you have a blizzard storm or you've got, as long as you have internet, you're good to go. Okay. Now, recently I downloaded Rogue Squadron for the headset for Star Wars. So I'm going to be checking that out. I'm going to be broadcasting that. Hopefully I'll get Jesse's audio back before I do that. But my point is this, people, you got to go at least check it out. Now, in the coming weeks, I've already made a couple of attempts to a couple of VR companies out there, which have new devices, new platforms, new software, and they will be joining us here on the morning show. So if you have a recommendation or you know of a VR company or a VR professional out there, and maybe they need some buzz for their app or for their program, let us know on social media. Just refer them to me at Aaron Michael Sanchez, and we'll see how we can get them here on the show. Because I'm going to be, in the coming weeks, talking a lot about VR, not necessarily on our program on ABC News Radio, because I can only talk about it so much before I can show you. But on the virtual platform that we have known as social media, I can bring up all the stuff for you to see in relation to it. It's very difficult to say this over the radio and to make you understand that. But all I can say is this: what if you could go to a movie from the comfort of your home, feel like you're in a big movie theater and or a personal movie theater of your own? And what I mean by that is they have little like personal, like imagine a luxury chair for a moment. Surrounded around you, you have a total of 8. So you have a personal screening just for you and your friends. Or you want to play on the big screen and multiple people play on that in own environments. I don't know how to make that work, but it's a thing. And you could do it from the comfort of your home. So I'm telling you, there's some amazing things. Plus you can have like a desktop, which I haven't bought that yet. It's $14.99. But you can have a desktop and you get multiple windows open. So now you have like multiple monitors in the VR headset. You don't even have to buy multiple monitors for your computer system. How cool is that? So that's like an $800 savings if you have like 4 different windows open. But you have put on the VR headset, you're able to work with it, and there you go. It's amazing. It's cool. And they got certain joysticks, but there's new gloves coming out where you can actually do things with your gloves. And we've made a couple calls to a couple companies out there that are pioneering that space to get that next level. Because I think that's where VR is going to really go, especially when you could just do your VR hands, right? And be able to like tap into things. Kind of like Minority Report's Tom Cruise. Remember when he did that? He was doing a lot of that. And then he'd like make the windows big with his VR hands. It was cool. But anyway, I think that's where we're going eventually. And I think it's an exciting time to be alive for that. So there you go. All right, people, we're going to take a quick little break here on the morning show. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned. You know what I'm wondering? Hold on. Let me switch something here. Oh, I know what it is. Wait, no, it's not that. That's camera. Let's go to audio. There it is. I know what it is. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Okay, keep talking, Jesse.
This is Jesse. Yeah, Mario says you have a VR addiction over 4 days. Do we need intervention? Maybe.
I think I brought your audio back. There was a...
Oh, really?
Let's see if you guys can hear Jesse. Yeah, I had to switch something up completely different in a different program. Your audio back. There was a... Oh, really? Yay! Okay. Did it. Sorry, it took like the whole show to figure it out. Now I figured it was last minute. There's another setting in a different program, StreamYard, I use a roundabout, and I had to select that. So I just have to make all my notes and go, okay, this is what I got to have for you and I. Well, I'm glad to have you back, Jesse.
Yay.
See, doesn't that make you appreciate being on the morning show, Jesse?
That it does. All because of your VR addiction. No, I'm just playing. You're having fun. I would have done the same thing too.
Well, I want you to experience this so that I could be like, dude, let's go to the movie theater. Because we actually, we hung out once. Remember that? On your special day, we took you out to Fogo de Chao. Oh yeah. But which I really want to go back to soon.
Right.
But it's so expensive. So I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But they had some good steak. Remember that? Oh my God, that steak.
It's worth the money. It's worth the money. It's such an amazing experience.
I might just go for the steak, not the all you can eat. But what was I saying here? Okay, so everybody's happy to have you back. Yay!
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Okay, so we could capture a little bit of you coming back. What do you want to talk about, Jesse? Do you want to talk about? No, let's not talk about the Animaniacs thing.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Yeah. You guys could look that up on your own.
I could always link the article inside the chat. It's pretty funny.
Diana Chenevere sharing some good news there on her. We appreciate that. Calm app. Oh, there's a Calm. I was looking for
20 seconds.
I did this beach escape, by the way, and kid you not, I laid there for a little bit. It could have been a little bit better, but I was like, this isn't too bad. I feel like I'm laying back at the beach.
Nice.
You hear the seagulls. One seagull came down and got a fish. I was like, that's an interesting program.
2 seconds, coming back.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMT 1490 AM, where we got Jesse's voice back. Of course, Jesse's quite easily heard on the radio there because he's in the studio at the radio center. Unfortunately, I had a setting that I forgot to turn back on, so that was my fault. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
How's life treating you over there?
Other than the winds giving me my allergies, I'm doing pretty good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Obviously, a lot of people tuning in social media thinking, I thought I lost my mind on VR. But Jesse, I think you're going to get an Oculus soon, right? Tell me you are.
No, I'm gonna get the Oculus Quest. I'm trying to get it later this week, so hopefully by Saturday I should have it.
All right. So, question of the day: will you join me on big screen?
Oh yes, of course.
And we can watch a movie, and we can invite. I don't know who else. Well, Maria, she's one. Let's see how many people in social media have an Oculus or are gonna get an Oculus, and we should do a Breakfast Club meetup at any time of the day. You could set up your own room,
yeah,
but it looks like a movie theater, and we could like switch gears and whoever like broadcasts once ever so often, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or we can all join together and then go into a room, and hopefully they won't be at max. Because somebody was playing Spider-Man, somebody was playing some other stuff, and some stuff you just like, why? But they just like talking while watching the same experience at the same time. So
yeah, like Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, one of them kind of felt like that because the people were in the front row. So it's weird, but you have like rows, right? So you could go all the way to the front, you could go all the way to the back, and there were two. I will call them. I muted their audio because I didn't want to hear them, but they were just doing things at the bottom of the screen, trying to get attention while I was watching Ghost. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to pay attention to you. I was like, how do I block them? I should have blocked them. There's a way to block annoying people, but there's kids on that app, by the way. So you got to be careful with your language, by the way. But they have adult rooms too, where the kids are not allowed in. So there's that. But then they have a karaoke edition as well. So for those of you that like karaoke, you can do karaoke at any time during the day because the headset has a mic input, has audio input, obviously, and there's your mic. But if that's messed up, so I met somebody in VR chat, and they said that their brother, I guess, hit their device, and so their audio was messed up. So you have to get another audio device and set that up. But if you don't have a computer, Jesse, from what I understand, you can use the Oculus, right?
Yeah, that's what I think so. I don't know too much about the whole setup for the Oculus on what you have available. Like, is there it should have everything built inside, right? The headset, the microphone, all that stuff.
That one, yes, that one does. But you know, let's ask Maria. Maria has, I think she ordered like 3 more since we talked last week for her family. So she knows exactly everything that you need to know about the Oculus. So maybe we'll get some information from her on exactly how it works. But Jesse thinks you don't have to have a desktop, and that's my question. Do you have to have at least a desktop and or a phone? Because I know you can connect you have to connect via the Facebook app. Like there's no way not to, because Facebook owns Oculus. They didn't always own Oculus, but when they bought them, they're like, they saw the green coming soon. But I think, again, with coronavirus, now's the time to say, look, if you're going to invest in anything, look, let's just do the math really quick, okay? $299. How many movies do you have to see with your friends and or family in order to pay for that?
I don't know. I want to say like 30. No, maybe 20. I don't know, because sometimes movies are pretty expensive depending on how many people you bring with you.
Well, exactly. At the very minimum, if you were a family of 4, okay, let's just say, and Jesse doesn't have he's of a family of a lot. But my point is, like, let's say the head of the household goes and takes the family typically to go see Wonder Woman, okay?
Yeah. Minimum
cost is how much, Jesse?
Let's say $13 a ticket. So 4, 8, 12, 16, about $56 just for the tickets.
Okay, let's do simple math. Let's say $10. It's a special $10. $40 right there. Okay, minimum conservatively. Now you add in who's going to want a soda and or popcorn.
Right, that's another $25, $30 right there.
Okay, and now you got gas, you've got transportation, you got time to get there, you got all of these things. Now you have at minimum for a family of four, maybe $80 minimum that you just spent. So technically at $300, granted you only have one device, but do you see where I'm going with this? How many times a year and or 3 years, which I think is a good lifetime of a particular headset, you're not buying it and using it only once. You're going to use it again and again and again and again. I'm the kind of person that I hate to spend money unless it makes sense, right? If I know I'm going to save money in the end, now let's take workplace environments, okay? There's so many cool, and big screen is good for this, for the business people out there. You can create your own office, share your content, talk and meet up with people. It doesn't have to be all about a movie. It could be like the latest presentation you did. It could be a training episode. It could be whatever you want. And you collaborate and meet together in a virtual space of your own design. That takes Zoom to a whole other level. You understand? I mean, they may not be able to see your face, but who cares? You don't have to look pretty. You just have your avatar and you're in. They hear your voice. You hear them. You're in the same space. It feels like you're in the same place, but you could be miles apart and or countries apart. I would think that even people one day that travel to Mars, maybe the high speed could be so fast we could communicate with Martians. There you go. Because then technically, now if we travel to Mars, are we Martians? Are we aliens of Mars? Because I think we are, right? Wouldn't that be a thing?
Good question. I would like to know that.
Yeah, you guys got to go check out. There's a couple series on Netflix, by the way. Mars, that's one. I'm getting caught up on that. Really good show with science, with Elon Musk and all the SpaceX and where they're going. All real true information stuff, not science fiction anymore. And in fact, they have a Tesla suit, which I want to be among the first to get now, Jesse, for the VR space. So they came out with it, the beta version, like late last year, but I'm waiting for them to at least announce, and I put out a call to their PR people. So I'm hoping we'll be among the first to be able to check out the Tesla suit. Jesse's like, oh, I'm getting on to that. Another reason to get a VR headset. I'm just saying. Okay, people, we've run out of time. That's my time here on the morning show. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Say goodbye, Jesse.
Goodbye, Jesse.
All right, for the rest of you, I'm glad I figured that out at the very end. I apologize for that. There's like multiple different things happening on my screen here. So for those of you joining us, that is it for the morning show on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Usually I go on a little bit longer, and so I'll keep on just for a few minutes. Let us know what you want to talk about and or share. I will say this. I do appreciate each and every one of you for commenting whenever you do, whenever I post something on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and or however you're watching this, Periscope for some of you tuning in on Twitter. Let's see. I did pose this question. I'm going to pose it again. What are you doing to stay safe and or stay positive? Now I'm going to bring up this one, Diana's, because I didn't get to read it all. To stay positive, it's taken lots of prayer, being thankful for all I have and been given, to remind myself how blessed I am, taking time to encourage others, took care packages filled with food, probably had packages filled with food for Thanksgiving meals to needy people, listening to uplifting Christian music, continuing to take next steps forward on projects, weekly Bible studies, watching online or attending church, and having fellowship with friends from church, reading, researching things of interest, and randomly watching Clean Calm. I think she means just, I don't know what that means. But so there you go. But that's what I like. Sometimes you have to, I was having this discussion with my mom, and sometimes you have to almost treat yourself in a different way to throw positivity back into your life. What I mean by that is try to go back as far back as you can tell and say, what used to make me happy just in the simple life? Was it reading? Was it picking up a book? For some, that's drearisome, right? Maybe it's listening to an audiobook. Maybe that's boring to you. Maybe it's like escaping in your mind and putting on some good music, something that brings your energy to a high positive space of time. Whatever that is for you, do a little bit of that, even if you don't feel like it. Just throw it on. Okay. For my mom, it's Elvis, right? I put on Elvis for her. All of a sudden I could see her energy lift up significantly. Right. And I've done it. I've done it when she didn't realize it. I put it on because she was like, and then she'd hear that, and all of a sudden it would spark something in her. So sometimes you have to do that for yourself, because there's not always somebody around you to think ahead and say, hey, I can help you feel good. Watch, because you know what makes somebody happy. Sometimes you have to think about that with yourself and say, you know what? If coronavirus wasn't around, what would I do that would make me feel happy that is safe to do currently? And I'm sure there's 20 different things you could think of. Some you just have to be imaginative. Maybe for me, honestly, I would love to be in a jacuzzi. Okay. So anybody that has a jacuzzi, I'm there. Seriously, as long as we're practicing social distancing and whatnot. All right, let's see. People tuning in on social media. Let's see. Bobby says Jingle Jingle is a good show on Netflix, so go check that out. Let's see. Renee says, make your money, then later throw me some. Yeah, right. Let's see. Maria says, we should do a meetup on VR. I agree 100%. Yeah, you know what? I will say this to the parents in the room. If you got kids, watch your kids like a hawk. Okay. There is a way to watch the programming, but just like anything, social media, anything that you give permission to your kids to, just make sure you monitor it. Okay. Because like I said, there were kids playing around in the chat room session. I was like, what are they doing here? You know, but I can't be mad at them because their parents are letting them do that. Maybe their parents are away at work. Maybe they were asleep. I don't know. But my point is this, just watch your kids, because there are, as Maria's saying, lots of pervs. So you got to be careful there. Okay. I mean, for the adults in the room, it's a thing, but for the kids, yeah, no. So my point is there's certain things that kids should not be exposed to, FYI. And they have certain settings on there to be able to limit it, parental control and whatnot. But I think they probably need to get a little bit better. So if you have little young kids, make sure to be responsible as a parent and don't just be like, oh, I'm going to go get it, and just don't watch your kids what they do. Okay. Be very, it's better to be ahead of that than behind. Okay. Let's see. Bobby says, I like meeting up on Get Vocal app. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, you know, there's cool ways to do so, no matter what. But there you go. Oh, it sounds like people are ready to blow wind over here. Okay. Don't know if you can hear that, but that's the wind blower. Let's see. Mario says, yes, you don't need the PC to use it, but get one with a bigger storage unit. Jesse. So that's good to know. Let's see. Bobby says, I feel like VR watching your show. Well, here's the thing. I don't know how to make that happen. There's a way to make it happen. I just don't think we're there yet. Here's the reality. There's so many users that are playing games and or productivity. I looked at the math there, and currently the way it sits, if we got, I guess if there was a demand for it at some point, we might do it. But there's some people trying to do that, and I think they're good for doing it. But you have to have like a multi-broadcast system to be able to do it. Like we'd have to have, I don't know, there's ways, but there you go. Let's see. We've got Renee says, I know some techie guys, Latinos. Awesome. Rosalie there says ditto. Bobby says QVC Amazon VR shopping beta spree. Yeah, right. And I think there's more things coming out right now. Facebook Connect VR. Yeah, seriously, Facebook's ahead of the game there. However, if you find that you do want to get the Steam app to be able to get access to all the other stuff, so you could cross-platform it. Okay, imagine, and this is where it gets a little confusing for people, but for those that understand how PC and or Mac works, for example, there's certain programs that only are for Facebook, true, because they sign an exclusive deal. Then there's other programs that for the majority of VR users, early adopters, it's been cross-platform for quite some time. That's why some people don't like the new Oculus, because Oculus signed the deal with Facebook. Facebook's like, okay, we own you now, blah, 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 blah. But Oculus Rift and HTC Vive were synonymous. They would share programs between each other a lot. So do I ever see an unbundling of that? I imagine so at some point. But for right now, Facebook has a couple of things kind of in their back pocket. And there you go. Because there were a couple of programs I was like, I can't find this for my HTC, but they're few and in between. There's just a couple programs that Facebook said, no, we're going to own you. And there you go. Let's see. Maria says, YouTube can broadcast your show, though, at the moment. Well, actually, YouTube does broadcast our show. If you go look up YouTube Live, find the morning show with Aaron Michael Sanchez. It's actually broadcast right now on YouTube. So go subscribe. So there you go. Let's see who else is in here. No. But technically, you could all be in a room, like a theater room, where I was broadcasting this, and technically, you could all chat with each other while it's on. But then you wouldn't want to pay attention to the show. So there you go. There's worries around it, but I'm just saying there's some cool stuff. Okay. So I think the question of the day right here is, what type of game and or app do you feel would help mankind? Okay. Just throw some thinking things out there. And I can almost tell you the majority that I've thought of already do exist somewhere, somehow. Maybe they're older, right? For example, I saw one which is for Dodge and another one for Ford. If you want to go and see how the innards work on a vehicle, you can do so virtually. It's hyper realistic and you can figure out where everything's at. I haven't tested it, but you could do so. So let's say you have like a Dodge or a Ford, and you could go in there and say, well, how do I change the oil on this? And it'll, I think it'll show you. I don't know. It was like Mechanics 101. Let me show you that. Let me bring it up here for those of you wondering how cool this stuff is. But I think that's pretty cool. Hold on, let me, let's see. What am I thinking here? It's called Steam VR. Now, some of these are in VR, and some of these technically are just games that you can share on the headset device. Okay, so let me bring up. I think it's this one, and I'm going to go ahead and share my window with you here. Let me bring up the audio, and let's see. Let's share the screen. Share audio. Chrome tab. I think it's this one. All right. Steam VR. Now, this is confusing, I think, to many that started up. All right. And it was confusing to me personally. So if I get confused, I can guarantee you other people are getting confused. Okay. So I bought the HTC Vive, and there's called a Vive port. That's kind of their central area. Then there's a bridge called Steam VR, which you connect to as well, and you open an account there as well. So you could cross-platform between these platforms, okay? But if you get the Vive port and you get like a 2-month subscription, they have certain ones that you don't ever have to download and or pay for, and they have a pretty good library of stuff, okay? But Steam VR is one that you can download. You download it onto your desktop, and then it connects it into your device, okay? So it's kind of like the middle guy. That's the way I want to describe it, okay? So if I go here, you'll see here Winter Peak, Happy Holidays, and they post updates on here all the time about things. Okay, so and they're testing new programs and showing people. Evidently, these are, what are these? Rebinding games for new controls. I don't know what that is, but this is more for developers and whatnot, which is pretty cool. If you want to start developing, I say do it. But let me go into my store, storefront, and this is where you find all the games. Now, they did fix this. I don't know if this is recent or if I just stumbled upon it. And this is more of what I was saying they needed to get to. So you can see all the games in here that you could download for your VR headset. Now, not all of these are in VR, but let's look at some VR ones here. Okay. And again, I feel that the sales have really gone up considerably. So here's a thief simulator if you want to be a thief. Oh, God. I question the people that want to be thieves. Star Trek Bridge Crew. Okay. That looks cool. If that's your thing. And so you could do multi-playing with people in the same room. So that was kind of cool. Let me scroll down here. Arkham. Now, that was only on PlayStation for a long time, but they've formatted it so that you could get it on your VR headset as well, just so you know. So, and I did play that once when it was on PlayStation. Now, this is the part I don't like. This is the way this is set up. A lot of people don't. This is very like old school website design. Okay, but this is how they do it. So I'm going to go to recently released. And I did get Star Wars Squadrons. Okay, I'm going to check that out pretty soon. But you have to have technically a mouse and or controller as well. Now, this is Kartcraft. Look how cool that looks, right? So if you want to be like, and this is great for the kids, right? I mean, I'd want the little steering wheel thingamabob that they're doing. But look at how hyper realistic that is. And imagine having the VR headset and looking around and it's all around you. I mean, that in and of itself is pretty cool. I can't do it justice showing it on a flat screen. It just doesn't look the same, people. It doesn't look the same until you put it on. Anybody that has had a really good headset, the newer ones don't cause dizziness. They don't cause a lot of that if you have it on correctly. You have to properly position it on your head. But there you go. Okay. I'm going to go to multiplayer right here because I like multiplaying games 100%. I like to share the experience. I don't like to be stuck on my own. But here's chess. That's cool. I used to play chess and well, that looks amazing. You see that? Hold on, let me highlight that again. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's pretty cool. I like the cool ones where they do stuff. That's cool. All right, let's see. So there you go. Here's Tabletop Simulator for regular board games. So if you want to do solitaire and VR, you can do that. You got other things that could be pretty cool. And they're designing new stuff all the time. You can do your own puzzles in there. You don't have to go buy puzzles. How many puzzles do you guys have that you spend on? I'm just saying, you can minimize the cost for that, right? And now you have chess pieces. I mean, come on. That's like seriously cool. Do that with the kids and spend some time in VR land with each other, right? You could be in the same room if you buy one of these and share it together. All right, let me go to simulation. And you want to fish? You can fish. I don't know if he had a heart attack or something. That was weird. But okay. And then let's see. Creed. I actually want to check this one out. It's a boxing game. But imagine working out boxing. All right. Come on. That's pretty awesome, right? So good workout, upper body, maybe moving around in the space as well. So I'm thinking about getting that, move my body around. Workout at home, safe and sound. And you can do a little bit or a lot of it, right? Here's for the Rick and Morty fans out there. Virtual reality. Okay, get that for the kids. They'll enjoy you, especially the teenagers in your life. So there's a lot of different things here. Okay, now I'm going to go here to browse, and this is what I was doing to find cool stuff. Okay, so I forgot what I was going to search for you guys to be able to check out what they have. I'll go to massively multiplayer, okay, because that's always cool when you do things with other people. And here's a couple cool apps here. Again, some of them free and some of them very minimum in cost. EVE Online, that looks cool. Armored Warfare, Foxhole, Stronghold Kingdoms, School of Dragon. Okay, that looks amazing for the kids in your life, right? That's based on the Dragons thing. You're not going to bring that one up for the kid in your life. Free to play.
Welcome to the next
actually came out in 2014. So it's kind
of Dragons.
So some of the graphics are kind of dated, okay,
With a
technically,
new
but it's still pretty good. But
A new
this
friend.
is free. Okay, so look here. If it says free to play the game.
A
You
new
just
friend.
download it, install it, and you're good to go. You could play in the VR headset.
A new home.
Looks like they did an update, all new Bumble. So some of these still have support, but they're still current. You get
An
it?
all new adventure.
The original one came out in 2014, but they've had
In a world where dragons are real
so that's cool.
and knowledge
Battlefield, Blood of Steel, Final Fantasy Online. That's amazing. Smite looks like something with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know what that means, but there you go. Again, a lot of these games I just don't have the time for, and I'm probably never going to play. But if I broadcast it, will you watch? Which game would you want to watch me play? Maybe you don't want to pay for it just yet, but you want to go check it out. Let me go to simulation again, because simulation, I think, is really good for people that are thinking, I don't want to play games, but I kind of want to fly an aircraft. You can learn this stuff in here. There's the zombie apocalypse thing that I know Jesse would like. Maybe you want to go gun shooting. It's not the same thing, because you see, like, I would need something that would have like true kickback, like a real gun. which they have those. They're creating those. Maybe you want to do. This is a really big thing. I don't know why, but truckers like simulating trucking. It's a big thing. So you could technically, train ahead of time. This looks cool. Major update, the Haunted Frontier. I don't know what this is, but it looks awesome. And some of these graphics do really well, and they kind of draw you into it. This is good for the kids that want to create a coaster type thing, right? And then experience it. All right. So it kind of gives you an idea. Some of these things are a little bit $479, $23.99, Crusader Kings. Some of these are a little bit of money. Some of these are cheap. So there you go. But you can search in the store and just browse everything in here. Okay, I'll go to one more. Let me go to strategy. Because I love strategy games. I really do. Civilization 6 is on here. We saw that one. V-Robot. I don't know what that is. I think you could put your own robot together. Armored Warfare. But this thing will keep you busy for days. You get what I'm saying? Ooh, cool. Okay. I know a friend who would love this. Garage Latino, Ricardo Rodriguez. Go check out his stuff. He's doing stuff. Now, this would be a fun game to play with some people. Actually, let me highlight this. Hold on. I want to see what the video is. Let's check this out together. Can you hear that? Because I can't hear it. Oh, I can get behind that. I'm just saying. Hello. Okay, so that one I'm gonna put on my wish list. Where was that at? I wanna put that on my wish list. Hold on. Let me go back to that. Where was that at? So here's what you could do. Where was it at though? I had it here a moment ago. So when you click on it, you can add it to your wish list, right? So you have certain things that you see and you kind of go through when you have time. You're like, okay, oh wait. It was called simulation. Or was it strategy? Oh, I don't remember. Here's some cool, the Escapist 2. Aw. I know the little ones like that. Because Roblox you could play in here as well, by the way. So for the kids in your life that have Roblox, again, monitor them. But and you could share with them if you have a desktop, okay, you have a PC, they have the headset on. You could still participate while looking at the monitor. If you have it really fancy and you have your desktop hooked up to a not just your monitor or maybe a TV. I have one hooked up to the TV, so I could see what my mom was doing while she was like participating in it, and she could see what I was doing as well. So you have that ability. Maybe I wasn't. All right, I must have been a different one. But anyway, so if I scroll down, all right, let me just click on Tom Clancy's Siege. Okay. And I can say add to wish list.
When I was a little girl, Halloween was my favorite holiday. Mom always said eating too many treats before bed would give me bad dreams. She was right. I found myself trapped in a surreal, candy-induced dream. Trick or treat. Welcome to my nightmare. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
So see, you could let's see, November 10th. Okay, that's an old trailer. But and they have cool stuff that you can like do with other people, right? And I know some of you like that sort of thing. So there you go. Let's see here. I was always a big fan of Counter-Strike, if you guys know that game. That's a fun game. Let's see. Now, I will say they do have broadcast in here as well. I don't know how to broadcast in here, but people do it. And they broadcast and they get a lot of viewers. Look at this, 11,943, 11,000. That's a lot of broadcasters, okay? But they're all broadcasting games. I don't know how they get in here, though. Maybe I should research that. But that would be a whole new situation, right? And or maybe you like to do gaming. Let me know what gaming you want to do. See, these are the games streaming right now. So they're showing before you buy it. That's what I like about. Oh, here it is. Browsing. Let me click on this. So I'm going to add this to the That's amazing. Come on. And it's VR, so you're in it. Okay, that one's on my wish list. All right. Getting excited for that one. So there you go. All right. Let's see what the comments are on social media. Let's see. Mario says it's refreshing. You're like a kid in Toys R Us. You know what? It is the new Toys R Us. It just is. Let's see. Says I like to fish on my own on VR when I need to just relax. Use Twitch to broadcast. You have most of the software now. Do it. Prime will give a Twitch account if you have Prime. I don't know what that means. Prime will give a Twitch account if you have. I already have a Twitch account actually, and I could broadcast it to it right now, technically, and I might do that. I might actually do that. All right, let me surf a little with you guys. Tell me what kind of thing. What do you prefer? Type in what you prefer of this list: action, adventure, casual, indie, massively multiplayer, racing, RPG, simulation, sports, strategy, or in software. Now, this stuff, I'm going to go here for a minute while you guys are typing that in. I'm going to scroll down right here to education. Okay, this part alone, I think, is an investment in of itself. If you're having a hard time with the kids in your life to get them educated, okay, there's some pretty cool stuff in here that will help them out. All right. And let me click on just the top ones right now. Scribble, Knots, Unlimited. I don't know what that means. It's like a classroom setting. Okay, that's cool. A space for connected thinking. Not sure what that does. SRPG Studio. You can create your own gaming environment so the kids can, or as an adult. Some of this is for adults, by the way. So let me back it up with that. Here's one: Rocksmith Remastered. Okay, I don't know how that works with the guitar, but whatever. Fly. Okay, I'm just gonna click on this because I've always wanted to fly an aircraft. I don't know why. It's just a thing. But look at this. I mean, at first glance, that almost looks real, right? But it's not. It's computer simulated. You get to learn the controls inside without the G-forces. You want to feel like you're soaring? I mean, hello. Okay, that's gonna go on my wish list as well. Where was that? Where would it go? Come back. There it is. Hold on. So I'm gonna click on that. It's $39.59, and they'll show you how much of a discount from when they first came out. So this came out in 2017. So it was $59.99. They have 34% discount. I'm not gonna buy it right now, but I'm gonna put it on my wish list. Okay, I got a lot of wish lists here. It's called let me see. Right, what else I want? Okay, so you see, I'm like shopping online without shopping. I'm just putting things on my wish list. Get it? So then I could be like, okay, maybe or maybe there's a new one that comes out. Gameplay, recording, and streaming. Pancake Sailor. All right. Well, for Diana over there, who has her own sailboat, she doesn't really need that. Video suite. They actually have some cool video suites in here, by the way, which rival, I think, even the very best out there. If Adobe were ahead of the game, they would have their own in this. I feel they're losing out right now. Wild True Learn. So coding, you could learn coding in here. Scribble it for the kids in your life. But even this Universe Sandbox. Let me click on this for the kids, okay? Let me just show you this. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who would want Earths to collide with the moon? But it gives people and kids, especially, the idea of, wow, isn't it great that we have a creator which actually keeps everything in alignment? But it shows you kind of the cool things that could happen if things were to collide. Things often do in other parts of the universe, right? How do you create a nova or a collision of planets to come together, or a black hole, which they actually showed a theory that, the sun isn't sitting there, it's actually being pulled, so we're all being pulled with it. Don't know if you caught that when you saw it. But there's some, that alone is pretty good, right? So let me scroll down a little. No. Let's go here. Car Mechanic Simulator. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. Check it out. Okay. First of all, let me click on that again. I want to see which ones are like it. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. They have I'm going to pull up a Dodge. All right, let's pull up that one. And check this out. This is, I don't know if they have video. They might not. Yeah, this one doesn't have any video. But it's $2 and 14 cents, right? But I mean, I would love it if they actually showed you the specs on the vehicle that you bought and how to fix it up, and then some, right? Because at least you could go to the mechanic and go, no, I know what's needed there, right? I mean, or you can like plug in. I mean, I'm thinking really far forward, like for mechanics. They could connect to a VR and the computer uploads into your system. You go, well, this is what the numbers are. Check it out. And or they could virtually like go into your system and kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too ahead of the game, but I just think there's really cool stuff that you could do with that. So there you go. I'm excited by that one just because honestly, I always kind of wanted to become a mechanic a little bit, not like full on, but just a little. Let's see. Bobby says, add me on Steam, guys and gals, Shadow3413. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do that, but let me scroll down a little. Let's go a little over to the 5th one. And this one, I'm going to give you an idea. Let's see.
Find exactly what you need by instantly organizing your desktop icons, files, folders, and shortcuts with Fences. This Windows app clears desktop distractions, offering a clutter-free workspace for creating. Creating a fence is easy. Click and drag to make a fence, name it, and you're done. Position your fence, double-click to activate the roll-up feature, even snap to edges of your desktop. Need some extra desktop space? A quick double-click will hide your fences. Bring them back by double-clicking again. Fences can contain more than just desktop icons. Create portals to any folder by holding Alt and dragging to the desktop. It's that easy. Right-click inside the portal fence to change sorting and view options. Visualize your projects and files exactly as if they were in a window without having to click through a bunch of folder locations to get there. If you want to separate your activities, simply drag a fence to the edge of your desktop and create a new page. Now swipe from the edge of the screen to change pages. Customize fences with transparency, intensity, and color options, as well as sizing and snapping. Reduce the clutter from your PC desktop and stay organized with quick access to files, folders, and the links you use most. Fences is the organizational solution you've been looking for.
Oh yeah, that wasn't what I was thinking, but they have some stuff for your desktop as well, and then that's $5.99. So there you go. And or if you're an app developer, you just do stuff in here. Okay, so let me go back up and go ahead and add. Let's see. So this is my name, Networks21 on Steam. Now, technically in Vive, it's Aaron M. Sanchez, but that's the part where I get a little confused on this thing. So I'm going to go to friends here. And I got one friend, yay. Okay, so let me add a friend here. And I'm going to try searching for the friend, Bobby, who's on there. Let's see if it goes Shadow3413. Let's see if that works, okay. Shadow3413. And let's search for that, see if it comes up. Nope. Shadow3413. I'm pretty sure I put that in correct. This is the part I don't like. Okay. Better DM our Steam code or ID. Yeah. See, this is the part I think they need to work on because I tried this with Maria yesterday and it was just not fun. So here's my friend code. Type this in. 115117788 Go ahead and type that into yours and add me. All right. There you go. There's the code. Okay. It don't work adding you by your. Yeah, I don't know why. Or maybe it's case sensitive. Maybe that's the thing. Let me try that again. Shadow 34. I'm searching for a friend. Well, let me put in Bobby. Unlucky Bobby, is that you? Or Stargazer? Yeah. So I just don't know. I hope that's not you. All right. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be broadcasting that, but whatever. Okay. So, but there you go. Bobby's like, that's not me. I hope it's not. All right. So there you go. But yeah, that's how you do it. Okay. And then let's see what else. All right, let me go ahead and get out of there. But if you want to add me, that's how you add me. So I'm gonna go back to community. Oops, store, browse, and so that was an educate. Or oh yeah, that's right. I was doing education. Trivia trick, scribble it, coloring book for adults. You know, that's calming and relaxing. And then they just have stuff that you can. Let me go to what's popular. Project Hospital. That's funny. Actually, let me go back to Project Hospital, see what that's like. Because, you know, this type of stuff can get your kids. You can kind of see if that's kind of a. I mean, it's not. Oh, okay. It's kind of like putting your hospital together. But you know what? More hospital programs will get your kids interested. I mean, how many kids now go for to be a doctor? Not as many as they used to. I think we need to shift that back. Crazy, huh? The graphics? Project Hospital. Huh? I wonder what other games they, because that was pretty. Let me see what other games they have by this. Hold on. Because I actually like their it looked really cool. Let's see, recent events collection. More like this. And then you got reviews to kind of tell you, kind of like they do on Amazon, right? Who are the creators of this? I like their format. It's very like simple. Become an ace doctor. So, you know, I mean, why not? Kids play with other stuff. Get them. Oh, Oxymoron games. Let me click on this. That's the only thing they've done? Oh, they need to reapply that to some other cool stuff. Because I like the visuals. Like, it's clean. It's clear. That's cool. Actually, you know what? I want to go back to that. Because I want to know what emulator they're using. So for those of you wondering, like, there are certain programs that you could download on here for free. Let me go to something that I think a lot of people would like to do. Hold on, I'm going to add this to my wish list. I'm going to follow this too, actually. And yeah. I'm going to do something here that I think a lot of you should start doing if you haven't already. Okay. It's called Blender. And it's a free app. But I think in the coming years, it's going to be a highly sought after program that you're going to want to be very familiar with. And if you've ever been interested in doing animation and or drawing and or 3D sculpting or any of it, or if you love Photoshop, you like making hyper realistic videos, or like you could take a picture. Sorry, I got something in my mouth. Lint. You could take a picture and we'll just watch. It's a free app in Steam. You like get it, learn it. That's if you're got a kid or a young one that loves art and or creativity, get that for them. It is free. I think did I get it myself? Oh. Well, I'm going to install it right here, right now. But I honestly don't have the time to be able to put into this. But I can guarantee you right now, there's some cool stuff that you could do in there, and you could create new environments. You could create all of that stuff and more, and it's free. That's the type of thing back in the day, just so you know. Oh, did I mess up my system? Oh, now I have too many things adding. Oh, well, I'll add it later. So my point is this. That's the type of thing. Let me go to some of the screenshots here. Okay. Actually, let me go to this one. Okay, so do you understand what I'm saying by that? I'm saying if you have a youth or a young teen or somebody that loves art and or creating, get them that. It's free. I mean, some of the stuff you could do in here, I mean, it reminds you like Photoshop and the others, right? You just have to learn what everything does, but get them around that. Get them to start creating. That will keep them so busy. Guaranteed, if I could go back to my younger self and have this out, there used to be a program called Maya and 3ds Max, which I remember I downloaded a bootleg version, and I spent probably a good week and a half on Maya, which was simulating. I made Angelina Jolie's face profile out of 2 pictures in 2D mode and made a 3D sculpture of her face. It wasn't perfect, but I didn't have the money at the time to go get the tutorials, which they put DVDs together for that sort of thing. And I'm sure there's DVDs to help you walk through these and or training that you just would have to find. But this came back out in 94, but it's still relevant, very relevant, because it's constantly being updated. It's constantly new. And there are certain, like a lot of these you've seen in films, you've seen them in special effects, you've seen these are sought after, really cool stuff. But it doesn't stop there. I mean, you could create prototypes, you could create virtual worlds, you could create gaming, you could go to the gaming. There's so many new advances for the creative person out there. If they are a creative and they're not making money, give them this app and give them some time and add their they just need to know the technical know-how. And then add their creative know-how, and you could go next level. I used to be a kid at 8 years old drawing. I thought, I'm never going to make money at this because I'd see people drawing, and I'm like, I never see them, honestly. And I didn't know. I'm like, well, I don't want to be an animator, but what else is there? And I gave up my drawing ability. But don't let the kids that are creative in your life say, oh, you're never going to make money at art. Get them on Blender, download this for free for them, get them some tutorials, get them started on that, let them create. You can create your own little animated flick there if you want. How cool is that? Let me click another one. even have to be a youth to be able to appreciate this, right? Technically, you don't have to be. You could have an interest in this sort of thing. And some of the stuff is outdated, 2015, but they got newer stuff. These are the different things you can create in it. And it's free. These type of programs used to be like $1,500, $2,000, $2,800. You have to go and buy. But you can create on your own right here, right now. Free. And you can kind of see the animation, how it's like more from older ones to newer ones, because they're constantly updating it, right, with new effects and new add-ons. With the trained eye, you can tell when something's older versus newer, but it's constantly evolving. Think about, you don't need to all be in one place. You can have 20 different people working on the same project. In different locations. Some people think, well, I'm not creative, but you know what? You don't have to be creative 100%. You just have to know the technical know-how. Being creative is good because you can take, the leadership ability on certain visionary things that other people can't think of, right? But maybe you're a technical person and you like to make schematics of real world objects. The job is there. Put on your headset, enjoy, and create and design. They are constantly needing new things to look photoreal and or real, put them in movies, put them in graphics, put them in gaming. There's so many new things coming out with virtual reality taking off, as I know it will. There's going to be more need for this. So, if this is the type of thing that kind of interests you, why not? Let's see. Okay, let's go to the chat room here. Let's see what you guys are saying. Bobby says Team Fortress 2 is free multiplayer. Okay, I'm going to go check that out right now, actually. I'm going to do that right here. Team Fortress 2. And bring that up, see what that's like. It's a pretty long video. Let's see.
No sign of him here. You guys see anything? Hello? Anybody in here? Hello? Probably nothing. Just a car backfiring. Or possibly. What the? Spy, you seeing this? Why? Spy. Who's there? Somebody there? Because you left all your blood out here. And some ball marks. Please, let me go now. Okay, let me go. I can smell here. It's close. There you are. Everybody say done. You can't build a beef pack when the deadliest animals on Earth. They'll escape. I just don't know why. That was the whole bloody point. Don't worry, son. Stick.
All right, so there you go. There's a cliffhanger for you. That's a very long trailer. That's not the actual gameplay. I'm not sure what the actual gameplay looks like. Let's see here. It looks like this. Okay, so that's completely different. But it's the trailer, okay, and it's free to play. So I'm going to go ahead and add that right here, right now. And I'm not going to install it just yet. I'll go back and do it a little bit later. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to have the time to be able to play all that. But there you go. Okay, and then let's see. It says Counter-Strike is free. Yes, that's true. You can get that as well. Let's see. Maria says, I used to use Maya plus lots of other ones. I have made so much 3D stuff with those programs. That's cool. Yeah. Half-Life 3 is VR. I'm a server admin for Counter-Strike Source for years with friends around the world since AOL days. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's good to know. But yeah, Half-Life 3 is a little scary. I don't think I'd want to play at night, personally. Let me pull that up here. I used to play Half-Life by itself. I think you're talking about Half-Life Alyx. This is not for the faint of heart, people. And in VR world, it is weirdly crazy.
I'm here. So what's the plan?
We can get this weapon. What we're doing here could change things forever.
There's no straight shot to the vault. I'm gonna head inside, find a way out. Got it.
I'm with you every step of the way.
You're gonna need a gun. Don't worry, it's unloaded. It's unloaded now.
Graphics, man.
My channel's really picking up. They know you're coming. You need to get out of here now. Oh God.
They've got Dad.
They're gonna find out what he knows, and then they're gonna kill him.
All this is my fault. I never told you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry, baby.
You are not safe here. Alex Manzo cannot predict his fate.
Close your eyes, honey.
And that's VR. Now that one, I'm kind of tempted to go get that. Oh, I hate this guy. I don't like that guy. That was in March 2020. Okay, so and how much is that? Actually, let me see. I think it's still quite expensive by normal standards. Let's see, I'm going to add that to my wish list though. And I would like that if there were multiplayer. Is it multiplayer? I don't think it is. I think it's first person only. But if that's your sort of thing, that's your jam. $44.99 VR only. Yeah. So some of these are VR only, and then others are just you could share among multiple platforms, including your headset. All right. All right, people. I've run out of time. There you go. Check it out. Pretty cool stuff. Thank you for that recommendation there, Bobby. And let's see. So there you go. Awesome. Okay. So I'm just checking out the comments there. And however you're tuning in, we appreciate you. Thank you for sticking with us. Again, go check it out. There's a lot of cool products out there, some of which you could check out right here, right now. Some of them free, some of them for purchase. But hey, if it keeps you safe and sound inside rather than going outside, and it blows some time while you can, and or learn with some educational tools over there. I mean, I just scratched the surface with some of the educational stuff. There are so many things. There's doctor programs. You could figure out the human body. There's some cool stuff out there for the kids and for adults as well. So, all right, people, I appreciate you. Make it a great day. Whatever you do, remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Glad we got Jesse back, and hopefully I'll remember the settings ahead of time. Bye-bye, everybody.